Hey guys, I've had a fairly good response to the 6-inch long hair. It was really brushed back and totally like just plastered to my head. But I looked back at it and I thought that doesn't look good. Especially there was a comment from one guy who said, "Couldn't there be more scalp showing? Show that it's real." I'm like, yeah, because otherwise it looks like a wig. I was thinking, yeah, it's a bit wall of hairy. I just gotta just decide right now, I think, if I want to keep it. I mean, it's not like I have done any work on it at all. It's just I put hair gel in it, that's all. Even pushing it up forward and stuff still looks a bit fucking weird. We have some pretty interesting hairstyles, but there's only one that works. What do you think of that one? You like that one? I'm thinking, no. So there's nothing I can do about it, except just that all the time. I decided I don't like it. Little experiment. Got the brush back look, got the feeling of like I've got straight hair for the first time in my life. But as I lay on the pillow and it started fluffing and all that sort of stuff, I realised how fluffy this hair is and all the other things, and it'd just be a lot easier. If that guy had the hairdresser had a brush, cut my hair back here like I'd asked him to, and maybe this would sit flatter. But even so, I don't really like it that much. I've spoken to you about and shown you comparison videos of how much more natural looking lace is compared to this poly, because it's so sparse and you can just see scalp through it. And it would be fine if it was always winter time, but it's not fine in summertime, that's for sure. The glue just shines right through, and under bright lights, when I'm staging television and stuff, it's going to be a major problem. So poly is the answer for me in a lot of situations. It really solves that glue shining through the lace issue. So for that reason, I'd say poly's still the answer. But I still need the option of having that brushed forward look. And this does not give me that option. So I'm thinking, I'm going to cut my hair. Excuse my fatigue, but I haven't slept. Also, since that last video, I just quickly went ahead and contoured the right hand side of my face, because it really was way too low before. That rainbow look was genuinely a rainbow, almost a rainbow cut. It was way too low, so I've contoured up. Thinking about doing the same on the side, because there's a bit of a dip there. It should sort of contour up just there. But for now, I'll just leave that. With wet hair, there's this other kind of look that can sort of be like that a bit, I guess. But I'm not sure if that overall will look good when dry. My hair will spring up big time up here, and then it's not like I'm a straight haired dude, less with tan and straight hair and stuff, like the Aryan race, if that's even a real race. So just to be manageable in the real world, I'm going to give myself the ability to have a brush forward look. I can always brush it back like this if I want, and it'll be somewhat good. It won't be as, you know, schmick all the way. It won't be that crazy, but that only gives me the opportunity to do one hairstyle, a hairstyle which I don't think looks that good. I think it looks very neat, and girls responded to it, but girls are idiots, so that's the reason I'm cutting it. If all the girls like it, and the girls are all idiots, then A plus B equals cut it off. No, that's not the reason. I just didn't like it. And, you know, you can't relax. It's got to stay there. You can't put your head on the pillow and wake up and it looks good. Which is true of all my haircuts, basically. It's, I don't know, I guess if it's really short, that's the most likely. I'm gonna wake up and it doesn't look ridiculous. But yeah, most haircuts result in me looking shit when I first wake up. And did so even when I wasn't balding. Because I was always a buffy haired, redhead kid as well. Which taught me my place in society. I was reflecting on how my father taught me confidence, just blurting out anything that I thought. Probably not the best trait in the world, but I'd say my IQ is triple my father's. So hopefully that's helped me a bit. Hasn't saved me from some of the most awkward, fucking regretful memories I've ever had, which are all about public speeches I gave on the fly, because I just decided I'd wing it, because confidence was all I needed. But years spent in absolute silence, almost not talking at all, except for just these, please. For the shopkeeper when I was buying something. It was only those sort of times of the night that I actually remembered what my own voice sounded like. I was just living in the back of a van, hiding from the world. And the only thing that gave me any confidence to actually get out of there at all, as I looked in the mirror every day, ashamed to be seen without a hat, was this discovery of the idea that the hair pieces they wear in movies can be purchased by the general public. So you could say that maybe hair pieces saved my life. Because the prospect of having lost all my friends and family and everything, after sacrificing my happiness and everything I ever wanted and loved, and They all left me because I'd sacrificed myself out of absolute kindness. I thought, I hate all humans. They're so cruel. There's no chance at converting them. They wouldn't change even if I told them I would die, I would kill myself if they don't show me gratitude or show remorse for not being grateful and shunning me and hurting me and torturing me mentally. So what's the fucking point in living in a shit world like that? And then as I went bald, while trying to get them to care about me at all, still, if I ever went back to see them again, years of just isolation. I thought baldness, that's the end, that's it. What the fuck is the point? And then my father took a bag of my diaries, videos, audio recordings of my thoughts, original manuscripts, songs I've written, all the thoughts I've had in isolation. He threw them in the bin, never to be seen again. Those diaries were my only friend. I promised myself, if those diaries ever got lost or damaged or stolen or lost in any way, I'd fucking end it. Because I had nothing else to show for all the years of suffering that I've experienced. I worked through the world's problems, all of them, everything I could think of, and just basically wrote what were effectively books about topics that answered a lot of the questions that humanity has often faced and still faces and will always probably face unless those problems are solved. When I started an organisation in my head, on paper as well, with graphic design and everything, and I said every problem solved, every question answered. That was the slogan. I started making comic books and stuff about it, and these diaries and stuff. They're all gone forever. This follows years of living in a hallway at my stepmother's house when I stayed at my father's place as I was a kid. She decided she'd sell my teddy bears or my Star Wars collection at a garage sale one day without telling me. Well, you shouldn't have left them on the floor. And there were other diaries that I'd had in there as well. I wasn't a big diary keeper in there, so all the diaries I ever kept throughout my childhood, they were on the floor. She threw them out. I lived in a fucking hallway. It was an indented hallway, so there was a kind of a bed thing there, but all the storage that they'd kept over the years. My sister got a room. By the way, I was 12 turning 13, so I was experiencing puberty when most people are given their own room to experience puberty and all the embarrassment and everything in privacy. I was living in the hallway at that time. I ran away from home a few times, but I was a kid and I fucking came back. Only to be met with just absolute misunderstanding for every thought that I had. And every action I took was just totally misinterpreted, and I was treated with absolute cruelty. Not to the extent that other people are, but I would still say, without exaggeration, that my mental pain that I suffered could not have been superseded by somebody who was raped daily by their father. I wasn't, but if that had been happening, it would have been affected with the same emotional suffering that was being endured. Because are you thinking about your sore bottom most of the time when you're dwelling on the psychological pain that being raped every day by your father has caused you? Or would you be thinking something emotional and mental more? And the problem was, I loved him and wanted him to be happy, and everybody just found him to be a beautiful man. So every time I mentioned anything, I was lying, or there was something wrong with my brain or whatever. Anyway, I'm glad I've got this option back. I might tweak the edges again later. I just want to play with this sort of half long hair for a while, given that I've just seen the potential of ultra long front hair. So I'll keep this long and I'll do something with it later. Sun's about to rise, so before I stay awake for 3 or 4 days, I'm going to try to force myself to sleep with these sleeping tablets I got here. Pack this shit up. Adieu, adieu, remember me.